Hey there, from the KUOW newsroom, this is Seattle Now. I'm Patricia Murphy with a roundup of today's top stories. It's Wednesday, October 8th. Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell signed off on 2 new executive orders today. They're part of the city's preparation as the Trump administration tries to deploy National Guard troops to cities around the country. Gustavo Segreiro reports.
One of the executive orders focuses on the potential deployment of the National Guard in Seattle. Mayor Bruce Harrell says he hasn't heard of plans for them to come here, but the city has to be prepared.
He's making dangerous statements about American cities being, quote-unquote, training grounds for the military. This should cause all of us pause and concern.
The executive order establishes a citywide task force to coordinate the city's legal response and maintain control of Seattle police. It also establishes a tip line to report any concerning actions by National Guard members or other federal troops. The Trump administration has sent the National Guard to Chicago and attempted to send them to Portland. The administration says troops are being used to protect federal immigration buildings and staff. The other executive order aims to bolster Seattle resources for immigrants and refugee communities. Gustavo Segreiro, KUOW News.
Meanwhile, Oregon National Guard troops can remain under federal control but can't yet be deployed in Portland. That's according to an order that was issued today by a federal appeals court. It's a temporary measure while the court prepares to fully take up the question of whether federalized Oregon National Guard members can be sent into Portland. Oral arguments are scheduled for tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. A second order that bars any federalized Guard members, whether from Oregon or another state, from being deployed in Oregon remains in place. If you haven't checked the Mariners' score yet, spoiler alert. Now that we're here, you might not want to check. The Mariners were trounced in Detroit today in Game 4 of the American League Division Series. They lost 9-3 to the Tigers. The teams are knotted up in the best-of-5 series. The deciding game is in Seattle Friday afternoon. The first pitch will either be at 1:40 or 5:08 if the series between the Yankees and Blue Jays is wrapped up by then. A massive heat wave is hitting the Pacific Ocean from China to California. Water temperatures well above normal are covering thousands of miles, though they mostly stop short of the northwest coast. John Ryan reports.
It's the blob that spared the Northwest so far. Ocean heat waves have become more common and more intense over the past decade, ever since an extreme heat event was nicknamed the blob. That long-lasting blob of warm water harmed salmon and shellfish, fueled toxic algae blooms, and killed seabirds by the millions. Along the Washington and Oregon coasts, temperatures are currently above average, but mostly not extreme. Even so, many Northwest creatures, from salmon to puffins, migrate far out to sea and could get caught up in this year's blob. Scientists hope a forecast for La Niña conditions might help break up this blob and get ocean temperatures closer to normal. 90% of the extra heat trapped by the atmosphere due to fossil fuel pollution has gone into the oceans. John Ryan, KUOW News.
King County is moving forward with a plan to create a walk-in crisis care center in Seattle's Capitol Hill neighborhood. The county council voted yesterday to buy the former Polyclinic building at Broadway and East Union. It will house one of 5 planned clinics where people can get urgent behavioral health care. Some neighbors have expressed concerns about public safety and the potential for disorder in the area. County officials want the clinic to open in 2027. The recent $55 billion sale of video game company Electronic Arts has reignited a fierce debate over the use of generative AI in the industry. Joshua McNichols has more.
Seattle has the second most video game jobs of any U.S. city. Many game developers and fans worry generative AI could put those jobs at risk. So they've been naming and shaming game studios that replace artists with AI-generated art, games like Microsoft's Call of Duty.
What do you notice about this image? 6 fingers!
But that could be changing. David Brevik of Skystone Games has been getting pitches from game developers who can't afford an artist.
They say, hey, this is what we would like it to kind of look like, but we generated this with AI, but you get the vibe and look that we're going for.
Microsoft is promoting generative AI tools, but not requiring them. It's up to game developers to decide whether to step into the controversy. Joshua McNichols, KUOW News.
You can hear a lot more about the backlash against AI art in video games on the latest episode of KUOW's economy podcast, Booming. A new UW medicine study links heavy wildfire smoke with possible infertility in men. In a study of 84 men, it found lower sperm counts in men who donated during incidents of high wildfire smoke compared to periods when the air was cleaner. Dr. Tristan Nicholson says the results definitely point to a need for more data.
We really need to better understand in larger studies how wildfire smoke and other environmental exposures may influence fertility potential and sperm parameters in, both people who are struggling with infertility as well as our communities.
Her team is also looking into whether in vitro fertilization is impacted by wildfire smoke. The study was published in the latest edition of the journal Fertility and Sterility. Next time on Seattle Now, we'll talk about the mayor's race and what to expect in the coming weeks.
Your doorstep will be covered in pamphlets, surely. It's going to be a race to who gets the last word on this.
Hear more Thursday morning. That's all for today from the KUOW newsroom in Seattle. Our producer is Andy Hurst, and I'm Patricia Murphy. Seattle Now and KUOW are members of the NPR network. Talk to you tomorrow.